Hello and welcome to the 18th fairway here at Minnehaha Country Club in Sioux Falls. It is tournament week as the city is set to host the Sanford International, a new event this year for the PGA Tour champions, the best golfers in the world over the age of 50. And the Champions Tour has had events in Iowa and Minnesota this summer, but comes to South Dakota for the first time this weekend. And if you've been to Minnehaha Country Club, you might not recognize it. That is some of the stuff that is set up here around the course. It's been transformed into a spectator's paradise. Viewing platforms, luxury boxes, chalets, public grandstands lined up here along the 18th fairway. That is right behind the green on number 9. And that will be a fabulous view from there. There are viewing decks and food and drink and phone charging stations and more seating all over the golf course. One of the biggest party areas this weekend could be the big viewing area surrounding the green at the 17th hole right there. Covered grandstands, dining and beverages and restrooms out there. There's Wi-Fi, televisions all over the golf course. There will be plenty of hospitality stations and volunteers to guide you around if you're coming out to take part in this event this weekend. And it is incredible what has sprung up here at Minnehaha just in the last few months or so. Coming up in a few minutes, we will talk with Tournament Director Greg Conrad about parking and tickets and how to get around on the golf course this weekend when things get open to the public starting on Wednesday morning. There are pro-ams here on Wednesday and Thursday, and then the Sanford International, the tournament gets started on Friday. They play 54 holes, 3 rounds for the Tour champions, so competition coming up on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we will be here all week at 7 o'clock every night to bring you all that is going on. Well, some of the players are here already, and we caught a few of them on the range earlier this morning. And one of them is the one guy that most people want to see. John Daly is here, and I think we've got some pictures of Daly. He was the first guy to sign in this morning when all the players got here. Daly, as a matter of fact, was here last night, and there is Long John. So he is here, but we are not sure yet, 100% sure that he is going to play in the tournament. Last Friday in Flint, Michigan, Daly had to withdraw after just 9 holes because of some pain in his back and in his shoulder. But he had some treatments done by the Sanford doctors last night and again this morning. Daly is hopeful that he will be able to tee it up when the tournament starts on Friday. We spoke with him a little bit this morning. He said his swing feels okay right now.
A lot better than Friday, I can tell you that, thanks to him and his beautiful staff at Sanford. I mean, I couldn't have been here and done what I did yesterday, and without these guys helping me. Can't thank them enough.
What are you fighting? Is it back, the shoulder, or what are you fighting?
Well, I've been fighting a knee for quite a while, and it's called sciatic nerves in my back, and it's gone down my leg and then went up to my neck Friday.
Did it take some urging to get you here? Or did you really want to get here and try to play this week?
I did. I mean, I've heard nothing but great things, and last week was a big one for us. We hadn't been back there since '09, and Allied's doing a hell of a job, 5-year deal there, and it's one of our favorite places there, and it looks like this is going to be one of our favorite places to come to. So you cherish memories like I had some good tournaments back in the day at Flint, and it just really was sad I couldn't finish.
What's your thought coming here to a course you've never seen before, never played on?
I've talked to Andy North a little bit. He says it's great. You're going to love it. The greens are a little tricky, which is cool. But first of all, I just want to be able to play. I want to be able to get through 3 rounds. That's the goal. And I think with his medical team, I think we're might accomplish that. That's the goal. I don't care what I shoot. I want to be able to play and get some of my power back.
All right. When will you know? Will it take up until Friday to decide, or what?
Maybe I may go back in right before the Pro-Am and get some more done at my L4, and just to make sure we got it. And I'd like to do it closer to the Pro-Am. That way, whether I do well in the Pro-Am or not, it'll get in there, and by Friday, hopefully I'll be 100%.
How is this Tour Champions life treating you? You enjoying this later stage, I guess, of the career?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, not too many athletes, well, I call us athletes, but like pro golfers, most sports you're done when you retire, and golf's a sport that you can keep playing until you're a long time. If back holds up, knees hold up, shoulders and all that hold up, but no, I'm enjoying it. It's just, it's nice, 3 days, get in a cart, go play golf with your buddies, and you get in contention. It gets nerve-wracking, but you got to go low on this tour because it's only 3 days and the guys can play.
That is a great debate. Are you guys athletes or not?
Well, I used to be.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
I played all the sports when I was younger, but am I an athlete now? Probably not. But athletic to golf, I guess you could say.
All right, and as you said, this is competitive as anything, right? You guys are out there. This is to win, right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's our last go round, and most of our careers probably from 50. Probably don't go more than 10 to 12 more years unless you're Bernhard Langer, and Tom Watson and Hale Irwin. I mean, the longevity in those three guys have been amazing. How they've kept at it and still win.
All right, fun to talk to John Daly, and you did hear him say jump in a cart, and yes, on the Champions Tour, you are allowed to use a golf cart if you want while you're competing, and maybe some of these guys, maybe John Daly will this weekend. We hope he does end up playing. John Daly is 52 years old, by the way. Bernhard Langer is 61. Kenny Perry, one of the favorites on the Champions Tour, he is 58 years old, and these guys can play. You keep hearing that from Andy North and everybody else out here. You're not going to believe how good these guys are when the tournament gets started. So what will they think of Minnehaha Country Club? As John Daly said, the tour had a stop in Michigan yesterday at a course that used to host the Buick Open on the PGA Tour that had an established championship history there. The champions played the 3M Championship in the Twin Cities this year in Blaine, Minnesota, another longer, very much newer course. So it's going to be interesting to see what the players think about Minnehaha Country Club that was established here in 1922. So, who else is going to be playing this week? We've got 46 of the top 50 on the money list scheduled to play. That includes Paul Broadhurst, who won the Allied Championship just yesterday in Flint, Michigan. Broadhurst moves up to 6th on the money list, becomes the first Champions player this year to win 3 times. Scott McCarron will be here. He is 2nd in the money right now behind Miguel Angel Jimenez. McCarron has 8 wins in his 3 years with the Tour Champions. He's won twice this year, including a tournament in Canada just 3 weeks ago. In his PGA Tour days, McCarron had top 10 finishes in the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the PGA Championship. Jerry Kelly is here, the man from Madison, Wisconsin, having a great season in just his 2nd year with the Tour Champions, 3rd on the money list. He won the 2nd tournament of the season back in January in Hawaii. Kelly is a 3-time winner on the PGA Tour with his last win not that long ago. Came at the Zurich Classic in New Orleans back in 2009. And another one of the most famous faces in the world in golf, 55-year-old Vijay Singh, former #1 player in the world back in 2004 and 2005. Singh has won 2 Champions events so far this season. He has 34 career wins on the regular tour, the PGA Tour, including 3 majors, the Masters in 2000 when he held off Ernie Els and David Duval and Tiger Woods, who was 25 years old at the time back in the year 2000. So all those guys are going to be here. Maybe the 2 notables that won't be here, tour leader Miguel Angel Jimenez and Bernhard Langer, a 9-time champion tour money leader. Both of those guys have commitments elsewhere, but Tom Lehman is going to be here. Tom Byram is here. It's going to be a full field of 78 players, and we'll have more interview and info with the players coming up later this week. All right, when we come back, going to be joined by Tournament Director Greg Conrad, talking about the months and months of preparation they've gone through getting ready for this week, and some information on tickets and parking and course etiquette for the Sanford International.
Midco Sports Network, live from the Sanford International, is sponsored by Sanford Power Golf Academy.
And welcome back to Minnehaha Country Club. Sioux Falls playing host this week to the Sanford International and the PGA Tour champions. Happy to have Greg Conrad, the tour director, for the tournament here. And this is it, man. This is the week you've been waiting for. What's the emotion today once you get to this point?
It's exciting, and just to see the faces of the people, just the eyes, and they start looking around, and they're like, this is really cool, and I didn't think it was going to be this big, and I didn't think there was going to be video boards, and I didn't think there was going to be, this many stands, and I heard you say earlier it's a spectator paradise, and that was our goal. I mean, this is for Sioux Falls. This isn't a private event. This is for Sioux Falls. This is to show people, hey, we got a heck of a town here. We're going to show it off to not just this country. We're going to show it off to the world. Yeah,
I was one of the guys gawking, looking back. I mean, you look at the 18th hole here, and this is a 5-year deal This is the first year of a 5-year contract to have this tournament here, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you, you can't do it without great partners. We have a great partner in Minnehaha Country Club. We have a great partner in Sanford, Cambria, and the tour, all committed for 5 years. So when you have that kind of forward-thinking, visionary type people, you're able to do some very creative stuff, and you're seeing a lot of that here, where we're able, because we have a 5-year commitment, we're able to make investment into things that aren't just new to Sioux Falls. They're like a lot of things we're doing out here, they're not seen on the Champions Tour.
No.
So that's fun, and that's what people will start to realize. This isn't just bit new for Sioux Falls. Like, there are things we are doing here that they're not doing in golf, and that's important. And we have the ability to do it. We have the people to do it.
And your background is in doing these kind of tournaments. You were in Des Moines running the Champions Tour tournament down there. This is your thing, and it's been a year, 18 months getting ready for this. This has been your sole passion, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, and it's fun, and people are amazed it takes that long to plan. But at the end of the day, the success of these events are all about the people, and so you literally are just creating relationships day after day. So I remember coming and meeting with you guys when I first arrived, and when it was beautiful in December and minus 20, and we sat in your conference room and we kind of laid out our vision for things. And it was just, I realized at that very moment that this is going to work, because everybody's kind of waiting for something this big. We just need sort of a game plan and a template, and once we figure that out, then we've got the partners and the people to do it. So I'll go at this all day long. This is fun.
And you have Cambria, and you have Sanford, and you have Mid-Continent, and you have that support. But I think you've said this many times in the last month or so, it's not an event unless the people come out. Why is this going to be a big hit for South Dakota?
Yeah, no question. And I've been to many games, and if there's no people there, it's just a game.
Yeah.
But if you've got crowds, it becomes an event, and that's really what we're talking about. And and how do you get those people? You develop a relationship one at a time, and the people here are amazing, and the community here is amazing, and they all realize that they can make an impact, not only for themselves and just having a great time, but they can make an impact on charity, on the economic impact of the city, and bringing other events here. So this will be a platform, a showcase for what we can accomplish as a community. And how cool is that? I mean, it's just so fun to be a part of it, because everybody's like, hey, so what if we did this? Some of the stuff out here I never even thought of, and people in this community are coming to me and says, Greg, do you think we could make this work? And my first answer is always, we're going to try.
Yeah.
And we pulled some of it off, and that's pretty neat, because we don't have time to do that on our own. But if someone comes and says, well, I can help you do it, we can get it done a lot quicker, and a lot of that's seen out here today.
I'm one of those guys that just keeps saying, this is so cool. This is so cool. We got some information here on tickets, I believe.
Yeah.
And you even after today, you can walk up, get a youth pass for $10. What is youth? Is that 18 and under? What's the limit?
So it's 15 and under. Youth 15 and under,
okay.
And you can get a pass for $10. And we give you a backpack full of stuff. It's really cool. Obviously, as a spectator, like an adult, you can come here for $25, and it really is a spectator paradise. 70% of the stuff out here is for the public. Where they, like the deck that we're standing on, where we're broadcasting from, this is open to the public. People can come here, buy a beer or a Coca-Cola, and sit and watch right where we are just by buying a $25 pass. So we're pretty excited about it. The parking is totally free.
Let's get to that. Parking and shuttle service. There will be shuttles from the fairgrounds and from Sherman Park. They'll start on Wednesday and run all the way through the tournament, correct?
Yep. We'll start picking you up. Obviously 6 a.m. things start, and we'll start picking you up, and we won't stop the shuttles until everybody's off the golf course. So if you want to stick around and kind of enjoy the sunset and enjoy the beautiful scenery, we'll hang around too. So parking's free. I promise you that if you use the free shuttles, you will get to the course faster with less walking and more comfortable than if you're going to park in the neighborhoods. These are air-conditioned coaches, so you'll ride in style. I think I rode the buses the other day. It was about 8 minutes. So I think if you can handle that, and the walking will be minimum. And again, there's no cost.
All right, take advantage of that. And then a couple of things to remember here. Things you should bring to the tournament with you. Have your ticket.
Yeah.
Have that displayed at all possible times. Sunscreen, that kind of stuff. We might have some weather here later in the week. You can bring your phone.
Yes.
But just be courteous with it. Have it turned on silent.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then some other things not to bring with you. And a lot of these should be no-brainers, you would think, but don't bring backpacks. Don't bring radios, camcorders, that kind of thing. firearms.
Yeah,
okay, right?
that was kind of a
but-
game time decision, but we decided to cancel that. But we do. I will tell you too. We've decided that small backpacks are okay. We want people to be comfortable. So small backpacks. That was a slight change, but we did finally at the last minute decide no firearms. So sorry about that.
All right, good call. And it just comes down to being courteous to your fellow fans and to the players.
That's right.
That's the main rule,
That's right. And I will tell you. Here's what I'll tell you. If they're walking, you can make noise. If they're not, that's a good time to be quiet. That's how it works. So I hope these make some noise. Great to be here. Thanks for all you're doing.
Appreciate it very much. Greg Conrad, tournament director here this weekend at the Sanford International. All right, when we come back, one of the great ambassadors in the game of golf, Andy North, two-time winner of the U.S. Open. We'll hear from him coming up next. Welcome back to Minnehaha Country Club, getting set for the Sanford International here this week. Andy North is a two-time U.S. Open champion. He's been involved with Sanford Health as an ambassador for about the past decade or so. Micah Aberson is the Chief Global Brand Officer for Sanford. Both those guys have been instrumental in getting this tournament here, and we talked to them this morning about how this tournament came together and the charitable aspect of all that is going on here this week.
We as an organization wanted to put a spotlight on our international agenda, and as it relates to the charitable side of things, every dollar that we're able to bring in, revenue over expense, is going to go back to philanthropic causes, local children's charities, including the Sanford Health Foundation, so both helping to expand our footprint, go to our operations in Ghana and China and New Zealand and Costa Rica, but then also we're keeping some of those dollars close to home as well, and they'll go to support children's programs and the activities over at the Children's Hospital.
I've been around Sanford and Sioux Falls now for about 10 years, and I've gone to a lot of the basketball tournaments here, and the support has been unbelievable, and everything you go to, from concerts to whatever, Sioux Falls supports it. We think this is going to be just absolutely over the top. I think we're going to have so many people out here. The weather looks like it's going to be awesome Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a cool fall weekend, which that's perfect. And so we think we're going to have a lot of people out here. I think folks are going to have a good time.
And Andy North will join us here on set on Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday this week. He is from Wisconsin, by the way. He's a big Green Bay Packer fan. He said he may or may not be cordial to any Minnesota Vikings fans that give him a hard time if you see him on the course this weekend. All right, when we come back, we've got a little segment we call Course Management. Selected holes from around Minnehaha, beautiful flyover shots, and some thoughts from Minnehaha Director of Golf Mickey Finn on how to play them. We'll be right back.
Midco Sports Network, live from the Sanford International, is sponsored by Sanford Power Golf Academy.
Welcome back to Minnehaha Country Club. This course will play a par 70 this weekend, 34 on the front, 36 on the back. And over the next 4 nights, we have a feature we call Course Management. We got together with the pro here, Mickey Finn, picked out 4 holes that we think are going to have an impact on how this tournament comes out this weekend. And the first one in our series is hole number 1. It's a short par 4, but it's going to make the players make a big decision on what could be their first swing of the day.
Depending upon where they're placed on this tee, they will pull driver out and they'll go ahead and bust it right over top. They're wanting to tempt the player. They're wanting, especially in short yardage courses, they want to get them so that they feel a little bit more comfortable and saying, you know what, I've got room to spray the ball up there up around the green, and I'd much rather hit a 30-yard chip shot than a 135, 140-yard approach shot to the green. So it's a difficult green complex. Edges, they fall straight off. Guarded by a front left bunkers. The reality is in probably a 1 square foot area in that rough, there's probably 100 different lies. A bunker has three lies. They have a perfect lie, a heavy lie, or a fried egg. They're so good, it's real easy for them to figure out how to hit 3 shots. Those 100 different shots, you just don't know how the ball's going to rest. I would prefer to be in the lower half of the green, but there are going to be some of the guys that maybe miss one a little bit thin. They're going to get back to the back side of the green. The subtleties of this green are that you have to know them. A lot of times they break out towards 22nd Street or towards Kiwanis. You know those type of things, but if I were just to play a relatively straight putt without knowing those type of things, now the tail's going to happen. should turn right. You can see how the ball just continues to chase off with what I would classify as a relatively good putt. Better players generally miss the shot the right distance, but the left or right was the issue that they would have. The lesser golfers, you never knew if they were going to hit a wedge 80 yards or 120. So it didn't quite penalize as much front to back, but left to right, you'll see a lot of the trouble. I think we're probably going to have about 385, just a little bit under par, just because they are going to be hitting some short irons into the green.
All right, he certainly knows, and you got to hit it about 265 to carry that water in front of the green on number one. Will be very interesting to see how these tour champions go at it this weekend. When we come back, all these great male players around this weekend. One of the greatest women's players in golf was here today. We'll hear from Nancy Lopez when we come back. Welcome back to Minnehaha for the Sanford International. This week is going to be full of things to do and see and people to see and learn from. And one of those was in town today. It started with Executive Women's Day hosted by the Sanford International. That included a clinic put on this afternoon by Nancy Lopez, who won 48 tournaments in her time on the LPGA Tour. She had a message for women who are trying to get into the game.
In golf, so many times we really don't know what to practice. We don't take the time to get a lesson and maybe learn what to practice, because that's going to make us better. If you don't really know what to practice, it's hard to get better. But if you can step over that shot and then you enjoy golf the way I always have, every shot's exciting.
Great to see her here today. Speaking of legends of the game, Jack Nicklaus will be here on Saturday. We've got more interviews with players tomorrow as the practice rounds get started. We'll see you tomorrow night and every night at 7 o'clock here. Thanks for watching.